welcome to episode 23 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. Hi! If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're a new viewer, nice to meet you. My name is Laura and I am coming to you from Folk Yarn Studio, which is my workspace in the most easterly town in England. You can find me on the internet as Folk Yarn Studio, and the Lonely Knitter podcast is where I come to chat all about my craftiness in life. I'm a yarn dyer. I dye as the Lonely Knitter and I sell my yarn over on my website, which is Folk Yarn Studio. I also am the creator of Folk Yarn, which is an East Anglian yarn, and I am the director of East Anglia Yarn Festival, which I'll put all the links for below. East Anglia Yarn Festival is a yarn show in Norwich in Norfolk, and it is coming up next month. If you are interested, I do have some Makealongs running at the moment. I have a Discord group, which is a lovely little community space where I try and check in once a day. Over there you can find a channel for the 5 minutes a day crafting challenge, which is just basically my reminder to try and pick up something that brings me joy every day. I also have the finished objects thread over there. There is a specific prize draw finished objects thread where if you make something 50% folk yarn or Lonely Knitter hand-dyed yarn, you can pop it into that thread and I draw prizes quarterly. Finally, I am running a make-along with my lovely friend Helen of the Giddy Knits podcast, and that is the Friends That Grimble Together make-along, and we are making the gnomes of Grimblewood or other gnome patterns by Sarah Schira throughout this year. Feel free to check in with us over on the Discord or watch any of our previous episodes where we chat about it, but you can join in at any point for a chance to win prizes both on my Discord and over on Helen's. Right, I'm going to put my knitting down because before we really get into the podcast, I have a little giveaway to talk about. A couple of episodes ago, I announced a giveaway for this. This is Spin Blether self-striped yarn, and this is the 2024 Advent yarn, which is a 24 stripe, and it's called Feliz Navidad, and it comes in, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it comes in 2 50-gram skeins. Now, I have this because I purchased the Spin Blether Advent last year, and then on the run-up to Advent, so we hadn't got to December yet, in fact it was quite a way before, I received another 2 50-gram skeins and a little note to say that it was to replace these ones. There's nothing wrong with these at all, but that the width of the stripes to go with the plan that the dyer had wasn't quite exact in my 250-gram skeins. The lovely Andrea, the dyer behind Spin Blether, said that they're absolutely fine, 2 amazing self-stripe 50-gram skeins, and I would be free to give them away. She didn't want me to send them back. She was happy for me to give them away or keep them or anything. So I decided to give them away. A couple of weeks ago, I asked you to comment on that video and I would pick a winner. I also said that I would put in 2 20-gram mini skeins to go with it for heels, toes and cuffs, so that you had an undyed to go with it. My yarn base isn't exactly the same. Well, Andrea, lovely Andrea, saw that video and reached out to send me 2 minis that are the same base, which is the kindest thing. So Andrea sent me this little parcel. I haven't opened it. There was a note attached that said that I could open it up and take out one of the stitch markers if I would like, or keep them with it. I haven't opened it up. I've been very good. They are really cute stitch markers, but I'm going to pass the love on. So I've got this little packet as well, and I don't know if you could see it in there, but we've got 2 little very cute sheepy stitch markers to go with the minis. So this is what you get: 2 50-gram and 2 20-gram undyed, and then a couple of little stitch markers. So thank you so much, Andrea, because that was the kindest thing. And yeah, I really do, after having Andrea's Advent a couple of years in a row, obviously I haven't finished or I've cast on the last year's Advent because Advent went a little bit haywire last year, but the year before I knit through all of those during Advent and had the best time. Andrea's stripes really are fabulous, and I'll put a link to her Etsy shop below because I really do recommend checking out Spin Blether if you like self-striped yarn. So I have drawn a winner and I've written it on my notes. The winner for this giveaway is Kim Hammond 7606. Kim, let me know where to send your prize. Send me a little message. You can send it through the contact form on my website, or you can message me over on Instagram. But yeah, let me know where you would like me to post this to, and I'll get you your prize. Thank you so much to everybody that entered and commented. I really do appreciate it. Every time you interact with one of my videos, it helps it to be seen, it boosts it up a little bit, and yeah, it's just another way that you guys help to support my work and what I do and my small business. So I thank you very much. There will be more giveaways coming up, but I suppose this is an easy point to say, if you do fancy giving my video a thumbs up or popping a comment below, I will leave you a little hint for an emoji at the end of the video if you'd like to pop one in to show that you've got to the end of the video. But yeah, any kind of interaction, I appreciate it, and you're fabulous, so thank you so much. Okay, I'm a woman on a mission not to get distracted. If you've been a long time viewer, you know that is something I struggle with. So I'm going to move straight on to finished objects. Well, I don't really think this counts as a finished object, but I'm going to count it anyway. Oh, and I haven't said what I'm wearing, which is my DK version of my advent pattern that is in progress. That, actually, I think it might have been one of Kim's comments. I'm so sorry if I've got that wrong, but somebody said, why don't you call it the Easterly Point? Because it has a point to it, and I am right by the Easterly Point of England, and yeah, Easterly Point shawl kind of sounds kind of cute. I like that idea, so it's what I'm calling it. It's the working title at the moment. Anyway, on to finished objects. This is living in a Lay Family Yarn bag. It is gorgeous and I love it. I'm calling it a finished object because it's more, well, it's a finished plan, but this is my sweet shop blanket so far. And last week, if you've seen last week's episode, you will know that I really wanted to finish the first 3 squares. Now, if I call each one of these squares a finished object, I feel like it's going to motivate me more to continue on with the blanket and not let it fall by the wayside and actually have a blanket at the end of the year. We'll see. So let's call this 3 finished objects just to make me feel good. But yeah, this is where I am on my sweet shop blanket so far, and I'm pretty happy. The weirdest shaped beard. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. So yeah, these are the We Got This mini skein club from January. So this is my club. You get 3 DK minis and a little card with a quote on and a little message from me on the back and a stitch marker for £14.50, I think it is, each month throughout the year. I have dyed up month 2, so February. We are now on the 12th of February, and all of the February minis that aren't ordered with anything else or weren't quarterly ones that were waiting for quarterly shipping have all shipped and should be with their owners by now, I think, or arriving very shortly. Yeah, should be. Anyway, so I will add those in soon, but I thought I would hang on just for a little while and I might show you next week what those minis look like and then start to put them in, because I have lots of things to work on. I can space it out a little, but also I didn't want to risk spoiling anybody by showing the February minis now when I'm going to be adding them in later anyway. So I'm calling this 3 finished objects. Nobody is allowed to judge me. Okay, so that's going back in the bag, and that's now going to live at the studio. I'm not going to carry that around with me. It'll live at the studio while I'll just slip 3 DK minis for February into there, and it can live here while I wait to get started on the next one. So I'm on to whips because there's no real finished objects. So the first whip I'm going to show you is the one I was working on at the beginning of the video, so I'm not at the end of a row because I don't do clever things like that. But this is the Daft Days cardigan. This is a pattern by Rebecca Clow. She's the Creya Bayer, and it is also the Makealong pattern, or the knit Makealong pattern, for this year's East Anglia Yarn Festival. I am making it out of folk yarn. This is my East Anglian wool. So it's sourced from East Anglia. It is a unique blend, and I get it spun in Yorkshire and then brought back to me in East Anglia in the most far out tip of East Anglia. And yeah, I am trying, we'll see, planning to have this ready for East Anglia Yarn Festival this March. So I am a month and 3 days away from the Saturday of East Anglia Yarn Festival when I want to be wearing this, and I'm not sure it's going to happen unless I absolutely plough on, which might mean that you guys end up with a very boring few weeks of the podcast where I am knitting on just the same thing over and over and over again. I have made some progress from last time. Let me show you. Oh, I'm coming up to where the stitch marker is. I don't know if you can see this. So this is where I was last time, this is where I am now. That doesn't look like a lot of progress, and when I was sitting down to do my show notes and plan out notes to do this video, I just kept looking at it and thinking, that is pathetic. That's a whole week of work. What are you doing? But I have another whip that I have been working on. I finished those 3 squares on the blanket, and then I thought, there are more than 200 stitches in a row for my size of this pattern because we're working our way up the body at the moment. And I counted up my rows, and I'd done like 32 and a half rows since that last podcast. When I actually did 32 times my stitch count, I was over 7,000 stitches. So actually, as much as it might have only been that much in knitting, I feel a lot better breaking it down and saying I did this movement 7,000 times since last week. So yeah, I feel a bit better about it when I put it that way. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I am going to try. I really want this cardigan. Hilariously, at knit night when I cast this on, I'd cast it on just before knit night, and all I had was the bottom band. And my friend Jess, who is one of my Stitch Night ladies here at the studio, had done, I think, the majority of the body, she said, on hers. So she's like, if I don't have a chance to get the sleeves done, at least I'll have a waistcoat. And I was like, well, I'm only going to have a belt at this rate. But I have marched on. So I think Jess said she was getting on with her sleeves now. So she might actually have a finished cardigan and I might have the waistcoat. We'll see. So I'm going to put this one down because I have one more project to show you. I don't want to put it down because I was on a roll. Oh, and it's living in my redesigned project bag. A lot of you messaged or commented last week to say that I should reach out to the company to tell them about the snap. I have been really busy, but I am going to do that. In fact, I might put that into my little list of admin things I'm doing this afternoon. I'm not going to send it back. I'm going to reach out and just let them know and give them any info they need, so that if there's any sort of problems, they're aware. So that, because I think feedback, especially to smaller companies, I don't know how small their company is, looks like a pretty big company, but you know, feedback is important, and it is an expensive item, and I don't treat myself to things like this very often. This is a big deal for me. So I am going to reach out and give them feedback on the fact that the snap came straight off. But I love this bag, and it was an expensive purchase, and I don't want to send it back. I'm using it. So if, you know, I feel like I want to just sort of make sure that I said here that wasn't a real big criticism of them, because I think it's very unfair for me to come on the internet and say this broke the first time I used it, when I'm not willing to send them the bag back and let them make it right. I'm going to fix it. Sometimes in life things happen. Sometimes a snap just pops off. I'll get it fixed. It doesn't bother me enough to not want to keep this bag in my possession at all times, because I adore it, and it feels so well made and so sturdy and so lovely. It has not in any way put me off this bag or this company, and I would 100% buy again if I had the cash, which I don't. But yeah, it's I just wanted to make sure that I had said, because I realised afterwards that it seems a bit unfair of me to not let them put it right, but come on the internet and say something about the fact that it had broken. So I will let them know, but it isn't enough for me to want to send this bag back and not have it in my possession. So on to the next whip, which is living in this little bag. In fact, this has also been living inside my redesigned bag, because I have everything that I'm working on is traveling around in that bag at all times. But this bag lives inside there, and it's my little Charlie and the Chocolate Factory bag that I was gifted by a friend. It's a Down Sheepy Lane bag from quite a long time ago. And last week I showed you these vanilla DK socks. I think I cast them on in A&E because I have a broken toe, mentioned last week, and I had ploughed through the majority of a sock, and as you can see, this is not the majority of a sock, and that is because it's the second sock. So I suppose if I'd really wanted to be crafty, I would have said this is a half-finished object and done it at the beginning. Haven't brought my sock blockers over here. I will put them on the sock blockers to show you. I don't block my socks. I just put them on my feet and wear them. But I will bring sock blockers over to show you when I finish the whole pair and hold them up. But this is Dusty Dimples. My brain has gone, as always, Dusty DK in the Caroccio colourway. And this is Long Term Stash. It's gorgeous. I think I bought it at Unravel Festival a few years ago. And it's the most beautiful colourway. I have a little cake left. I'm on the second sock. I have turned the heel and I am now working my way down the gusset decreases. It's a DK weight sock. I'm working on a 48 stitch count. I don't use a pattern for my DK socks. I just cast on 48 stitches. I think I did 15 rows of 2x2 rib and then between 25 and 30 rows for the leg. Heel flap and gusset. My feet have changed shape significantly. I've gone down a shoe size, which is not a place I thought I would have lost size in. So with my body changes, if you've been watching a long time, you know I've had some body changes. With that, shoe size is not something I considered would change, but it has. And I'm now wondering if other heels might fit me better in ways that they hadn't previously. Before, heel flap and gusset was the only heel construction that I felt really went well and comfortable with my feet. And yeah, I might potentially go through a few different heels this year, try out a few different styles and see how I'm feeling and how I'm getting on with them now that there's been a few changes. You never know. Be interesting to see anyway. So I don't know why I started knitting on this because I'm on the gusset decreases and I can't concentrate on them. So I am loving this yarn. I am loving DK weight socks because they knit up really fast. As soon as these are done, I am going to cast on, I don't think I have it in my vicinity, but I'm going to cast on DK weight socks in my Valentine's yarns that I showed last week. Thank you so much to everybody that purchased from my little miniature Valentine's update. I'm actually really hoping that I can finish these before Friday and then cast on Valentine's socks on Valentine's Day, which is this Friday. We'll see. It's Wednesday. When do I think I'm going to get the time to do that? But it would be nice. I would like to. I'm still sitting here trying to gusset decrease and talking on a podcast. I'm stupid. Okay, so that is all of my whips for knitting anyway. I have something else that I have done. In fact, technically, I suppose this might be able to be classed as a finished object. I'm not sure. I spun. If you've been watching for the last few weeks, you know that spinning was something that, oh, what's happened here? I don't know what has happened here. Spinning was something that I keep saying that I want to get back into, do more regularly, and want to have at least a little bit of spinning to show every single week, because like with all things, if I take my eye off the ball, I get distracted, walk away, and then that thing just got left behind forever. So I have been working on this one braid of fibre for a very long time because I keep getting distracted from spinning. I don't know where swimming came from. I'm definitely distracted from swimming because I haven't been swimming in a very long time. But I keep getting distracted from spinning. So this isn't going to be the best spin job going. Spin job? That isn't really a sentence I was thinking either. Anyway, phrase, not sentence. My brain has turned to mush. Anyway, this isn't going to be the best job ever because before this I haven't spun in ages. And little tiny 2 minutes here, now and there with months in between. Like, it's really gone down the drain, my spinning. So I need to get back to it. Practice makes perfect and all that. I'm not unhappy. I don't know if you can see this very well, but I'm not unhappy with it at all. I'm going to let it rest for a little while and then I'm going to try and chain ply it, which I've actually never successfully chain plied anything. So we shall see. There isn't quite 100 grams here. I think there'll be maybe somewhere around 80, 85. I don't know. I haven't weighed a bobbin and then weighed this one. The reason there isn't 100 grams is because I have pulled off little chunks of it and given it to people when I've been talking to them about merino fibre, because this is 100% merino, and I have quite a few friends who are newer spinners who are almost a little bit nervous of working with merino because they've been told it's really hard to work with. And I think there's certain things you're told and then it makes you think you can't do them or you can't try them, or it knocks people's confidence. So yeah, I'd pulled off little tiny chunks and given it to people to mess around with, so I have no idea how much is actually here, but I'd love to chain ply it and make it into maybe a little toy or a little something, because it's my first hand spun for quite a long time. So yeah, I am still not spinning on my manual wheel, which I don't think you can see, but it's down here, because of my broken toe, which is feeling a lot better. It is quite spectacularly bruised. Yeah, my toe, all the way around my toe and on my foot. But it's healing up. I am walking with a little bit of a limp. It's going to be fine. It's a toe. I'll be fine. But I am going to spin up this on my e-spinner rather than using the manual wheel, which is what I plan to do. This I showed you last week. It is my Magical Worlds January fibre. So this is the other club that I run. I run a Magical Worlds club and my We Got This mini skein club. Magical Worlds was inspired by a mood board I'd put together called The Clouds for January, and it was also dyed up on my folk fibre because I had fibre made last time I had yarn spun up. So this is really special to me, this one, because it's my fibre, my own unique blend of fibre, and I'm really excited to use it. I'm going to use it on my e-spinner. I'm going to take it home today, put it on my e-spinner. No guarantees. I am not saying I'm going to have spun something by next week, because we're on the run up to East Anglia Yarn Festival now and I am in panic mode. I have a lot to do. My crafting time is getting less and less and less. I'm still going to get those 5 minutes a day in, but spinning might be the thing that falls by the wayside a little bit. But yeah, I have some spinning and I have some spinning plans. I don't know when I'm going to get to plying this. I don't know when I'm going to get to spinning this, but something will happen at some point. Okay, so that is all my whips. So in terms of plans, now last week I had a plan to start my Someone to Write Gnome About mini, which is a pattern by Sarah Schira. I had bought it last week, so it was last week's stash enhancement. I had wanted to cast it on and I just hadn't got around to it. So I am going to try again. I'm going to plan to get that one done. I'm not going to knit this one in my yarn. I would like to use some stash for this one, and it has a self-striped hat, and I have quite a few different self-stripe bits and bobs, and I thought it might be quite fun to grab some little leftover scraps from self-stripe and use it. I think I might have some advent from last year that would be really cute for the hat. So we'll see. That is something that I would like to get done. It's just the one plan that I couldn't get to this week. I would like to cast on more DK weight socks in my Valentine's yarn once my current DK socks are off the needles, because they have been a brilliant little vanilla project that's nice and small to carry around when I've needed something. And I've had a few hospital appointments and a few things going on, so they've been the perfect thing to take with me. Then I would like to keep ploughing on my daft days. So I'll take the little potion stitch marker, so that's my little potion, my glass potion from Flame Knits, and pop it up on the row I'm on now so that we can track the progress. And then maybe actually if I track my progress this week, I can give a sort of update of how many stitches again next week if I'm feeling like I have been going and not got much done. Actually, when I talked about this, I'm not sure I said what colours they were. So this is my folk yarn in the purple, which is Holt, the red, which is Sandringham, and the pink, which is California GY, which is Great Yarmouth, which is the town just up the road from me. And I don't want to say that spinning is a plan, because then that will make me feel pressured, and I'm not going to do that this year. But spinning, the Magical Worlds fibre is sat there. It will be sat on my wheel. If it happens, it happens. We'll see. I have started another row, and it is not a plain row. What am I doing? There isn't any stash enhancement for me to chat about this week. I haven't bought anything. Don't think I've even bought a pattern. And I was hoping to go to Unravel Festival on Saturday. So it's this coming Saturday, Farnham Maltings, because I love Unravel. It's one I've vended at the earlier Unravel Festival, because there's two now. There's one earlier in the year and one in the autumn. And I vended at both of those actually. And it isn't one I can even apply to. I don't know if I would get in, but it's not one I could even apply to vend at now because of having East Anglia next month. It's too much. But I was going to go with a friend to just see lovely yarn dyer friends, see lovely businesses, chat, have a nice time. It's not happening. I wish it was. My friend couldn't manage it she's got something on anyway, but I also, to be honest, that was probably a blessing in disguise that she couldn't make it, because doing that drive on my own with a broken toe, whilst it will be a week and a half, almost, it will be coming up for 2 weeks when I would be driving to unravel, I don't think it's the most sensible thing to do. It's about a 3.5-hour drive, and that means I'd be doing 7 hours of driving in one day plus walking around at the festival, and I need it to heal for me to be fighting fit for East Anglia, and it would be silly. I can't justify it. So yeah, I'm sad to be missing Unravel. It's one I really wanted to go to, but you know, can't do everything, and fingers crossed that I get to see most of those people at East Anglia. Yarn shows are so much fun, and I hope everybody who goes has the best time ever. Okay, so reading. I am still reading episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. I haven't made tons of progress, but what I have read has been fab. I just have been mega busy, and I have made sure to squeeze in a little bit of reading here and there, but I haven't got lots of time to sit and read. I haven't got a lot of time to sit and do anything, it feels like, at the moment. For watching, we have finished series 2 of The Traitors. So we're watching the BBC, the UK version, but I'm pretty sure there is traitors all over the world. Chris has been telling me, my husband has been telling me, that there is other countries that do traitors. So once we have finished watching the BBC series, we're going to go and hunt out all of the ones that belong to other countries too. Yeah, we're still really enjoying it. We haven't started series 3 yet, so please don't give me any spoilers. I believe series 3 has just finished. I might be totally wrong, but we're gonna watch that next. We've just both been really busy. He was at the football last night, and we haven't had a chance to have enough time to sit and be able to watch a full episode. I had been having Buffy keep me company at work, but even with that, to be honest, work's been so frantic, I've not really been paying much attention to it. This morning I had about 25 minutes and I've watched the first half of episode 1 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I don't know why, I thought I had watched Strange New Worlds. I don't know why I thought, because it's leading on from Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, isn't it? My brain has gone, as I have said already. But yeah, I am on episode 1 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. That is going to be a long-term watch, because it's one of those programs that I really want to sit and watch the whole thing and concentrate on it and look at the screen, which means I can't be working while I watch it. So we'll see how that one goes. I'm enjoying it so far, but I am only halfway through episode 1, so you never know. For life stuff, it's just been busy. There's not been anything really in the last week that I can think of that's like a mega thing that's happened. Ellie went to a swimming party, which looked so much fun. It was this giant inflatable in the pool, and I didn't go in with her. There was only a certain amount of parents who went in to chaperone, and I, broken toe, and other parents were in there, and she knows them, and it was fine. I was observing, watching the whole time, but I wasn't in the water because broken toe. But she had the best time at this party, and now she wants an inflatable swimming party next year. We'll see. I've had stuff. Yeah, we've got governors meetings and brownies and stuff like that, and it's the last week before a half-term holiday, so next week my children will be here at the studio with me for the whole week. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to be working every day. I'm going to really try my hardest to split the week up a little bit, work in the evenings where I can, and make sure that they get a little bit of fun on their half-term holiday. I have had a fracture clinic appointment for my toe. My toe is fine. My toe does now sit in a slightly different way than it did before, but that's just life, and it's a toe and I can get over it. It has a spectacular bruise, and I am having a real hard time with keeping my feet warm. Normally I'd be like rubbing my feet, putting thermal socks on and putting a hot water bottle under them. I have Raynaud's, so my hands and my fingers are always like ice cubes. People have said to me before that they notice that I do this a lot now, and I have seen it sometimes when I've been editing videos that I've put my hands up around my neck or things like that, and it is literally just because they get so cold that they hurt, and it's usually quite warm here. So if I put my hands like that, it's not because I've got a backache or a neck ache or anything. It is literally just that my fingertips have gone to the point where they're hurting, so I'm just trying to warm them up a little bit. But with my toes, yeah, I can't zhuzh them up and try and make them feel warm or anything because it's so bruised, it really hurts. But it's fine, it'll be all right. I think that's everything. Shop stuff, I'm not sure, there might be like the odd 50-gram skein. There might be a sock set left, I'm not sure. There might be something left in the shop for Valentine's. I don't know why I didn't check before this video because I'm obviously a little bit stupid. But the majority of it went last Friday, so thank you so much for everyone that shopped my miniature little in-stock Valentine's update. I do have some things that will be coming soon actually that were delivered this week, which is super exciting for me. I'm looking over here because they're all sat over here, but I don't know when they're going to go on the website. We shall see. I might be able to get them up for this Friday, but I just have a crazy week and a crazy few weeks actually before EAYF. But I have more needle stoppers. I got little piggies and little cacti and sunflowers. I've pinched a pair of these to go on my daft days actually. I've got ice creams. Can you tell I am desperate for spring and summer? We are very much still in the dead of winter here. I'm so cold. I never used to get cold and I really do now, and I'm proper shivery all the time and it's annoying me. I have little frogs. I have bumblebees. Yeah, I'm living for cheery needle stoppers right now. And then these ones, which are my absolute fave, and I don't have very many of them, so I might end up keeping some for me because I love them. But I have dragons. I have used to play, we haven't played in a while, we're going to keep playing soon at some point, but my D&D group, who have just also become my lovely friends, or already were lovely friends, but they are now lifelong friends. We are the Stabby Dragons, and yeah, I got dragon needle stoppers in the shop. I've got red ones and black ones, they're just not in the shop yet. Green ones and dark green ones, they just make me happy. So those have all come. Oh, and even though I say I'm wishing for spring and summer, if you are like me, you'll understand. If you're like one of those autumn people, I am a Halloween autumn person. I like it when everything starts to go brown. It's still warm enough that you don't have to wear a massive coat, but we are in the autumnal like area of the... I hate being hot. I hate being hot in the summer, and yeah, I'm an autumn person. I hate being hot and sweaty in the summer. I hate being freezing cold in the winter. I want the middle ground. And yeah, so I'm an autumn person, so everyone else, judge me if you wish, but I also got ghosties because I love Halloween and I am ready for it to be Halloween even though it's only February. Yeah, so that's the sort of thing that's been cracking on. Other than that, I have just been working my way through the All of Time and Space pre-order, which is all still on track. I know quite a few people have had their yarn now, and I'm probably about 50% of the way sent out. I am still dyeing and I am still posting as I go, and yeah, it's all coming off. So I think that's everything for today. Yeah, another busy week ahead. We'll see how we go. I think I have a giveaway to put up next week. If you've got all the way to the end of this video, as we're talking about the fact that we are stuck in the dead of winter, let's have some sunshine. There must be a sunshine emoji. Pop me a little sun emoji at the emoji gone, completely gone. Pop me a sunshine emoji in a comment below so that I know that you got all this way to the end with me. And thank you as always for making me so much less of a lonely knitter.